So Newsom is literally chasing people across the United States. It's insane. One thing you are not, Jillian, unless I've completely misjudged what's going on here, is a billionaire, unfortunately.
No,
Apparently,
unfortunately,
because your
no.
podcast isn't making enough cash. Well, in California, you're also not a Californian, and Drew, although you are not a billionaire as far as I know, you are a Californian, but the California billionaires are heading on out. Listen to this from Chamath Palihapitiya. He was a great tech investor, but also one of the hosts of the All In podcasts. He wrote, this is related to the billionaire tax. Don't say we didn't warn you. It's only an absolutely horrible idea that makes Peter Thiel, Sergey Brin, Larry Page, Reid Hoffman, David Sachs, and Gavin Newsom all agree. The proposed billionaire tax will blow a massive hole in the California deficit and ruin the tech economy in California. The middle class will then be forced to pay for it if this passes because all of the rich people are leaving. It's mathematical at this point. Newsom needs to find a way to balance the budget and shelve this wealth tax from ever making it to the ballot. So, guys, we don't have to get into all the minutia of the wealth tax, but it's also an exit tax if you don't get out in time, basically as of December 31st, 2025. Thiel, I saw Thiel a few days ago here in Miami, and he's officially here. This is not someone who had any, he very famously about 7, 8 years ago took his companies out of San Francisco and moved them to LA because San Francisco was so bad. He did not think that only, 7 years later, he'd have to take the entire operation out. This is to the backdrop of Elon getting out of there. So all of the producers that are gonna bring in tax dollars on top of just have good people around them that are good for communities and everything, they are getting the high hell out of there. And where are they going? Well, of course, it's basically Miami and Austin. So Florida and Texas's win will be Cali's loss. Drew.
So there are two aspects of this that people need to zero in on. One is in California, 95% of the tax dollars are provided by 5% of the population. That's the way we are structured here in California. They're going to erode if not half, certainly a big percentage of that 5%. I don't know what the hell they're going to do, number one. And number two, this is a brand new kind of tax. We've never had tax law like this before, or tax, what is it? What should we call it? Tax policy like this.
Tax policy code,
So
yeah.
literally, your belongings can be, I know Mamdami's people would love this, your belongings can be usurped by the government just because. They'll take it down 5% per year. Are they going to do it every year? Is it a one-time thing? They'll do it, and eventually it'll be everybody, and eventually it'll be every year, because that's the way this state always goes. So it's breathtaking. It's not going to be good for this state.
It's so incredible. It's so incredible that people like Gavin Newsom, who likely is the Democrat nominee for the next presidential election, think that kicking these people out, because that's what he's doing. He's kicking them out. You're making it unlivable because, you might be watching this going, well, they're billionaires, so who cares if they lose 10% more or 20% more or 50% more? And as they also pointed out on as David Friedberg, who is one of the co-hosts of All In, pointed out, they're calling it a billionaire's tax because they're great at messaging. Most of us are not billionaires. So even if you're a millionaire or you're just doing pretty damn well, you're like, screw the billionaires. Yeah, tax the hell out of them. And then what you're actually doing is voting in the things that ultimately will take your money. But Jillian, you're not a billionaire and you don't live in Cali.
I know. I was trying to find, as we were talking, which oil company recently pulled out of California. It seems though, when I searched it, they all have.
Yeah.
So ExxonMobil,
they have
Chevron,
because he
Valero.
made it impossible to refine oil here, or we shut down the refineries. And then we wonder why prices are up here. We can't create the oil. We can't create the gasoline. And
do you know how much gas is here in Jackson?
Yeah,
it's $2.60 a gallon.
You know what it is here? For $6. $6. He has a $2 plus tax on everything. Plus, it's generally $4 just because of what he's done to the oil. And then he claims that it's gouging by the oil companies. That's his claim.
Right.
Right.
This is disgusting. We got
This is what they. This is
Oh,
what
go
they
ahead,
do
D.
with when it's remember when Biden was doing the Inflation Reduction Act, but it actually caused inflation to go up. They kept saying, well, the grocery stores are gouging prices, as if the guy who's running the grocery store, whether it's Whole Foods or a mom and pop or anything else, is suddenly like, yes, now I see the perfect conditions to screw the people. No, they want to sell stuff. They want to sell stuff. It's the government that gets in the way.
One last thing I want to say, though, is I wish I could remember which exact company it was because it was very recent. I think it actually might be Valero. And I guess the CEO of the company had messaged Newsom before the big announcement that they were pulling out. And he wanted to give him a heads up and kind of let him know why he was making the choice. So Newsom wouldn't be caught off guard. And he basically said something to the effect of like, do you want to talk about it? And Newsom, snubbed him, was like, all good. Like the guy behaves like a toddler. Did you hear the story about when Kamala Harris reached out to him when she was running for president, and he texted her back and was like, sorry, I'm hiking, and never got back to her.
Yeah.
He is like a bitchy, petulant toddler. I mean, who has the luxury of behaving that way that isn't a high schooler playing games when they're dating? You are dealing with it, the fourth largest economy in the world, and you behave this way?
Also, just imagine like the gall of somebody that wants to take out the creators. Like you don't have to like
Yeah.
all of the tech they're creating and all the wacky things that have happened with big tech and everything. But I remember it could be about 8 years ago now. I remember having breakfast with Thiel in San Francisco when he was still there. And there was one other person there, and we were talking about how he did not want to leave San Francisco. He didn't want to leave. You know what I mean? Like that was the gold standard of where you could, not only raise a family because it was so cool over there, but like that's where the tech world came. San Francisco used to be an incredible place. He didn't want to. So then you force him to move to San Francisco. Think of the amount of money it takes to move these massive companies and all the infrastructure and everything else. He gets all of these people to agree once. And now he's got to get them to go all the way across the country. So Newsom is literally chasing people across the United States. It's insane.